Hey everyone, it's your girl Layla. Welcome back to my channel.
Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Ooh.
Okay guys, welcome back to another, I want to say bougie on a budget video, but that's not what this is. This is a hiking on a budget video. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about stuff that you can find at Dollarama if you enjoy camping, if you enjoy hiking, if you enjoy being outside and like don't want to spend, you know, Cabela's Bass Pro prices on gear, then Dollarama is the way to go. I kind of started collecting stuff for my backpack a couple years ago, and I discovered that Dollarama is the best place to buy things. I started off, you know, just going to Cabela's, going to Bass Pro, trying to find, you know, like a first aid kit for my backpack and just like random supplies, because I would literally make my own first aid kit out of, you know, just random stuff that I would find at the store. I would get bandages, I would get gauze, all that stuff. And then I was like, well, you know what? I kind of need more gear. Like I need more things to add to my backpack. I typically go on day hikes, but some of my day hikes can get pretty long. They can go up to, I think my longest day hike was like 25K. So for those longer hikes, it's really good to have certain things in your backpack with you, and a lot of things you can just find at Dollarama to make it even better. So without further ado, I'm gonna get right into the video. If you guys are not already subscribed, please go ahead and click the subscribe button below. I upload 3 times a week, Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I have everything in this little gnome reusable bag here. I took everything out of my backpack. I kind of need to like repack it anyways, because I just switched out from my winter pack to my spring summer pack. It's 2 different backpacks. I need more room in the winter months, so I need a bigger backpack because I need to layer up, take off layers all the time. So I use 2 different backpacks depending on the season. So let's go ahead and get started with what's in here and what you can find at Dollarama. You don't have to overspend, you know. So the first thing I recommend is trail marking tape, which looks like this. And I feel like I've seen this in different places for like $10 to $12, and honestly you don't need to spend that much. This is $1.25 at Dollarama, and this is more for like backcountry trails, or if you're going camping and you need to, you know, go in the woods to pee or whatever. It's good to have this with you to just, you know, use it as marking tape. So I just did a trail recently where this would have been really helpful because the trail was unmarked and the trail was like very not obvious. So people did their own flagging on that trail and a lot of it was inaccurate. So I would have loved to have this on my previous hike, but I'm adding this to my backpack right now. Next up, I have these fire starter sticks. So this is really good for emergencies. I also have waterproof matches with me as well that I carry around hiking. So those are super helpful. Highly recommend waterproof matches. Haven't found those at Dollarama, but they do have them at Cabela's. I think they're like $6 for like a pack of 100 or something like that. So they are pretty inexpensive, but I highly recommend these. I haven't needed to use them obviously because this is sealed still, but they are $2.50 for 20 of these fire starter sticks, because you never know when you're going to run into an emergency situation where you're going to need a fire, or if you are doing some overnight camping and stuff like that, these are your best bet. Okay, so next thing, I have actually 2 whistles that I carry with me. I have this one, as well as Dollarama also carries the orange whistle with the compass on the top. That is really helpful because it does have a compass on the top. That's still in my backpack right now. It's definitely like my emergency whistle, or if I am hiking in a place with a lot of grizzly bears, which is pretty common for me. I do a lot of backcountry hiking and stuff like that where there's a lot of grizzly bears, grizzly bear territory, or stuff like that. I carry that around my neck usually, so it doesn't ever leave my backpack. So that one is in there right now. I found that at Dollarama, but I also carry this whistle as well, and this is also found at Dollarama. The other one also stores my waterproof matches. It comes apart. You can put the waterproof matches in there. It's awesome. I love that thing. What I like about this is It's a flashlight. It's a pretty strong flashlight too. It does have the emergency signal, and then it just has the regular flashlight. So this is super cool, great Dollarama find. Highly recommend carrying a whistle with you in the woods because, I mean, it's great for keeping the bears away. Next up is this. So I used mine a lot last year actually, and then I forgot to wash it. It got wet and it got moldy, so I had to replace it with a new one. Otherwise, this is a really awesome purchase. It was only $3.50. So this is a collapsible silicone bowl, and this is also heat proof. It's BPA free. This is just an awesome bowl to carry around with you if you know you are camping and you need something to eat your ramen out of, or if you're like me and you like to go hiking in the glaciers and you kind of want to filter your water. This is great. So I have a life straw that I use to filter my water with. If I need or want to drink out of a glacier or like a lake or something like that, I have a life straw. So this is a perfect sized, really lightweight type bowl to just carry in my backpack with me, and I can filter my water in. I can drink it out of this. So that's that. One of my favorite purchases from Dollarama. Next up are these dry bags, and this is a very recent purchase. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen these in some of my Dollarama hauls. So I actually got this. It has 3 sizes. It has a small, medium, large, and I believe they all come with a string as well, like a something you can carry around your wrist with. This was $4 at Dollarama, and I feel like this would come in handy, especially when it starts raining and it's rainy season or whatever, you're stuck in the mountains. You need something to put your phone wallet keys into to keep it safe, or the bigger bag could work with other things in your pack, like maybe a foldable jacket, sweater, something like that. I really haven't opened this to see how big the large size is, but I feel like it's pretty big. It's big enough for you to like fold a pair of extra clothes, maybe extra pair of leggings, socks into. Like, this is just great. I can just put all of the stuff in my backpack in here to keep it organized and to keep all my stuff dry, because that's what I struggled with last year. I went on 2 hikes that it was like a torrential downpour. Everything got soaking wet. I had to take everything out of my pack, lay it out to dry afterwards, so those would have come in handy last year. Have those now and they're awesome. So next up is something that I have had to use a few times actually. So this is an emergency blanket, and honestly I feel like if you really wanted to, you could probably use it a couple times, but when you take it out of the packaging, it's not gonna fold up nicely like this anymore. You're kind of stuck with this huge aluminum ball that you probably want to throw out and replace with a new one. Also, these don't last forever. The aluminum on them, or like the shininess of them, can like start to come off, if that makes sense. So I wouldn't use it more than twice, but you know, I would definitely have one, use it, and then throw it out, and then you know, have an extra one on the side if I need it again. They're so cheap. They're only $1.50. And what I've had to use this for is, like I mentioned earlier, I've been on super rainy hikes that I've needed this because I've been so cold at a mountain summit waiting for my friend that I had to use this. I have been super cold doing a sunrise hike one time. When I made it to the summit, I was in like 4 layers of clothes. I was like shivering. This helped me so much. So yeah, I highly recommend carrying an emergency blanket with you. It's like tiny, and this should just be a part of everyone's first aid / emergency kit just because it's so small. And you can also use this to seek help in an emergency. So, you know, if you called for help, let's say, this is really reflective and you can see it from wherever you're being rescued from. Next thing I have in here is a magnesium fire starter, and this was $3.50. Again, a brand new purchase, still in its packaging, but this is to use in conjunction with the fire starter that I showed you guys earlier. These ones, you can strike this with a rock or something like that if you don't have matches. So this is just like an emergency, again, small little lightweight thing that you can add to your first aid kit or your emergency kit. So yes, that's that. I have another emergency blanket in here because, like I said, It's good to replace them. It's good to have more than one. I also, what I don't have in this video are two more things that I also need to mention. So for winter hikes, Dollarama actually does carry hand warmers and foot warmers, and I'm looking into, for next year, trying to find a reusable one that I can just recharge. Next year, I definitely want to look into a more environmentally friendly option, because I would use them like every single hike. I would use a pair for my hands. I would use a pair in my hiking boots for the winter time, especially hikes that are freezing cold when it's like -20 out. I definitely go through those like crazy. So I do want to find a better option for next season, something that can recharge. But if you are a casual winter hiker, or you just want to keep it in your backpack for emergencies, Dollarama does carry them for like $1.25 for a pair of hand or foot warmers. And they have two sizes of foot warmers. They have like the full foot one, and then they have like the mini ones. So yeah, those are awesome for the winter time. I don't have any at the moment because I pretty much went through my whole stash last winter. I used them all. And the next thing I don't have in here, it's in the back of my car. It's actually an emergency shelter. Same thing as the emergency blanket, but it actually folds into a tent. Like it's very, very compact. I think it's like this size, and I believe it's like also $3 or something like that. It's about this size. It's very, very lightweight. It is the same tinfoil material as the emergency blanket, and it's an emergency shelter. It makes a little tent, and it's good for 2 people. So highly recommend carrying that with you as well. I have that in my car now because I was cleaning out my backpack, so I left it in there. 2 more things that I can recommend to you guys. First one are these poles. Okay, I haven't tried these out yet. I haven't used them, but my poles are definitely on their way out. Like one of them is stuck. I've only had them since 2020, but one of them is stuck at a certain length, and it's not the length that I want it to be. And they're brand name, they're Eddie Bauer, but they're on their way out. So I am going to test these out and see if they hold up. And if they hold up, then that's awesome, because these were a steal. So they were $4 each. So you can get a pair of hiking poles for $8 from Dollarama. How crazy is that? Because if you're gonna look for hiking poles online, I've seen them on Amazon for like $50. The ones that I want are on Amazon, and they're $50. But I thought I would test these out. So yeah, I got a pair of them. They're actually pretty decently weighty. They're not super lightweight like you'd think that they would be. And I got them in the color red, obviously. They do come with a nice handle there, nice rubber gripping handle. It's very similar to my Eddie Bauer one as well. And it does have these straps. It does come with a little basket attachment. Great for the summer months, not so much for the winter, but that's okay. And then these extend, of course, so you can just pick your length. The only thing about these is that they don't have like numbers. They just extend, and then they retract as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to trying these out. We'll see how they work, see if they last me a really long time, and if they do, these are a steal. So they're the same brand as everything else. They're just the Camp brand, and they do come in blue or red, but all of my gear is blue, so I went with red. Then the very last thing that I found for my pack this year is, okay, if you guys go hiking, especially in the Rockies, and you make it to the summit, and you decide to, you know, sit down, eat and stuff, and there's no place that is comfy to sit because all the rocks are jagged. You guys know what I mean? Like, that's just like the worst. So I picked this up, and this is basically a self-inflating pillow, and it was $4. It's very, very lightweight. Like, it's kind of big, like kind of big compared to the fire starter. I mean, it will fit in my pack, no problem, but if you're concerned about size, I guess, then I don't know, like either upgrade your pack, but I don't think you're gonna find a smaller one of this. I think it's very compact anyways, but basically I bought this to sit on when I get to the summit and I need a place to sit down and eat my lunch. This is great because, like I said, it's no fun sitting on jagged rocks when you're at the summit. You've made it to the top of a mountain, you want to enjoy the view, and there's nowhere to sit or like nothing comfortable to sit on. That is why I picked this up. You can even go with one of these Dollarama blankets, these fleece ones. They'd also be comfortable as well. But honestly, size and weight and everything, this is super lightweight and thinner than this, you know, and this is a little bit heavier. But you could definitely go with a fleece blanket. These are harder to find though. Honestly, I would go with this over that. And I'm going to add this to my pack like right now because I'm so excited that I have it. I was wanting to use this on my last hike actually, but I wanted to film this video first while it was still nice in its packaging. But yeah, super excited for this. It's gonna be a great addition to my pack. And that is pretty much it for items that I recommend at Dollarama for your hiking pack slash camping backpack, whatever you want to call it. If you're a backpacker, these would also be helpful items, especially the flagging tape. That's awesome. That's a steal. So yeah, definitely don't have to spend a lot of money on hiking gear. Spend that money on gas to get to the hike, you know? So that is pretty much it for this video. I will see you guys soon. Bye.
I let you deeper than I